Action.
This is Alan and Jerome's first debate, and today we are debating if Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell was the bigger draft bust.
Clearly, Jamarcus Russell.
I feel like Ryan Leaf was because many NFL scouts believe that he had a better arm than one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, Peyton Manning.
Many NFL scouts did, but the Colts didn't, and the Colts drafted Manning. They drafted him first overall. Ryan Leaf wasn't a first overall pick. If Ryan Leaf had been the first overall pick ahead of Manning, easily he's the biggest draft pick.
He was debated over
But he
Manning.
wasn't. But he didn't get drafted over Peyton Manning. He was the number 2 overall, and he had a bust career, but it wasn't as big as Jamarcus Russell, because Jamarcus Russell was drafted first overall.
How many games did Jamarcus Russell win as a quarterback?
7.
How many losses?
18.
Alright, 4-17.
4-17. Okay, so your record's a little bit worse. He was playing on an even worse team than the Raiders when at the time they drafted Russell. And Russell got $61 million, $32 million of which Oakland had guaranteed him. You talk about why Oakland is a bad franchise today. They guaranteed $32 million to a guy who won 7 games for them.
Alright,
Talk about the biggest
rookie
draft
wage
bust.
scale is a lot different than
Oh,
today.
if we're going to talk about the time change, then what about how they knew more about what NFL quarterbacks would be better at in 2007 than in 1998?
So you're saying that Jamarcus Russell was considered to be a quarterback mold, a running quarterback? I mean, how many successful running quarterbacks are there in the NFL?
2 years before Jamarcus Russell, Michael Vick, he just won an MVP. He's
All right.
on fire, and before dogfighting, Michael Vick was one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
One running quarterback has been successful in the NFL. How many haven't been successful? A lot.
Plenty. But
Plenty, exactly. You think one out of a bunch of running quarterbacks is successful, you believe that Russell's the real thing? Sure, his arm is massive. That's
he's
true.
a great arm.
He's inaccurate. Everyone knew that coming out of college. Everyone knew that he was the running mold. I mean, if he's not successful, he's extremely
He's
unsuccessful.
clearly a dual threat, but he's roughly similar to Robert Griffin III in the sense that he's athletic and he has a good arm. Robert Griffin's arm is all right. It's not as good as Andrew Luck's.
All right. What was his quarterback rating? Just overall.
I have no idea what's quarterback rating.
All right. We're saying, I'm pretty sure, I can look this up right now, in fact.
Sure.
Okay.
The point is, ESPN.com said Jamarcus Russell is the #1 draft bust of all time.
NFL.com said that Ryan Leaf is.
Jamarcus Russell, he was drafted in 2007. They guaranteed him $32 million.
It's not about the money.
Of course it's about the money. You wasted $32 million to a guy who you released 3 seasons later and who won 7 games for you?
Jamarcus Russell, he can still have a comeback. I'm not saying he's going to. There's still a chance he can come back.
Jamarcus Russell's going to come back. Are we kidding?
His quarterback rating was 88. Oh, wait, no, that was just 1 game. His quarterback rating was 65.2. That's obviously horrible, right?
Sure.
Ryan Leaf's 50.
Ryan Leaf was clearly the worst quarterback.
Exactly. Therefore, the bigger bust.
No. Ryan Leaf did not do as well in the NFL game as Jamarcus Russell, but they both were so bad, it barely makes a difference. If they had both been drafted first overall, they had both been paid the same amount of money, and they both had done, and Ryan Leaf had gone 4-17, and Jamarcus Russell had gone 7-18, and their passer rating was that. They both suck.
Yes,
Let's
obviously.
put it that way. But the degree of sucking is like 0.03 and
Alright.
0.02.
Why wasn't Russell...
So then the fact that they paid him $32 million and that he was drafted first overall boosts him higher.
Why was Russell unsuccessful?
Because he was a terrible quarterback and
Besides playing, why was he unsuccessful? What was his style?
his style was a dual threat.
Exactly. There we go. There's no thing saying you have more of a chance to be successful in the NFL as a quarterback as a pure pocket passer.
True.
You look at exactly. That's why the
There have been
expectations
there have been
for
plenty of great
higher.
scramblers.
All right. Scramblers and dual threats are different. Dual threats
Yeah.
are relying as much on run as pass.
Yeah, but scramblers can get out of the pocket. Leaf was
Exactly.
a guy who stood in the pocket and got hit time after time.
Peyton Manning's the guy who stands in the pocket. Tom
He
Brady.
gets the ball out and he can actually throw.
Yes, because they're good. Ryan Leaf sucks.
So does Jamarcus Russell.
Exactly, but the expectations are set higher for a pocket passer than a dual
But
threat.
the expectations are set higher for a #1 overall pick than #2 overall pick. Cam Newton got all the press last year because he was #1. #2?
Well,
Number
you-
one gets all the press. If you're the #1 overall pick, You have to have a good
How about if
or else you're the bust.
was there a Peyton Manning in the 2007 draft? Was Peyton
No,
Manning?
this is Jamarcus Russell.
Was there another incredible quarterback in that draft?
No, there was one good quarterback and a lot of good other players who are having much more successful careers than Jamarcus Russell. And I'm not saying that Ryan Leaf didn't have that, but Ryan Leaf was
there
second
a
overall
future
and he got paid a lot less money.
Was there a future first ballot Hall of Famer in that draft class? Was
Just-
Jamarcus Russell being considered
You
over that
can't
first future
compare
ballot
them if he
Hall of
was.
Famer?
It's like saying, okay, if Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers went in the class with Jamarcus Russell and they got picked over him, you could say, okay, now Jamarcus Russell's in a good draft because he got picked behind better players.
Yes, he's not as much of a bust if he's picked, and he's more of a bust if the expectations are set for him higher.
But he
Then they
was
were.
higher. You see, he was picked after
Yes,
a great quarterback.
that's
Not one
true.
of the greatest of all time, a great quarterback.
Yes,
He was picked after a great quarterback.
he was debated.
Jamarcus Russell was picked over everybody else in college that entire year, and he was paid $32 million, and he spent 3 seasons going 7-18, and he was released. He sucked.
Guess who the Colts wanted to draft first? Guess who they worked out first?
Ryan Leaf.
Ryan
But
Leaf.
guess who they chose after they saw the combine, after they saw everything? Guess who they chose?
The reason he wasn't drafted first was his attitude.
His attitude.
Yes, that is legitimately the reason. That's what got him kicked off San Diego.
Yeah, but the point is, he was not drafted first. His attitude didn't play well in the NFL.
So he had a great
Wasn't-
attitude. He would have been drafted first. Therefore, he's the bigger bust because his expectations were high. People didn't think that his attitude
No,
would
attitude.
emerge into the NFL.
And did it?
It did. Therefore,
He went 4-17, and you're saying his attitude emerged from the NFL?
it did. He got kicked off the Chargers for disciplinary reasons.
His attitude didn't merge, just like they said.
Exactly.
So their expectations were lower because of his attitude,
No,
and they
they thought,
picked him according to his attitude, and he worked out that way, and he's a bust.
they thought that his attitude wouldn't merge. It did merge. It got him kicked off. They thought that his attitude wouldn't be a problem in the NFL. Therefore, the expectations were as high as Peyton Manning's.
But it wasn't as high as Peyton Manning.
It
Peyton Manning
was.
picked first.
The pick
Okay,
doesn't
okay,
matter.
let's let them decide.
All right, let's let you guys
All right.
decide. Vote on our blog who was the bigger draft bust, Ryan Leaf or Jamarcus Russell. And if you don't know anything about Ryan Leaf, that's probably because he sucked so much no one even cares.
Jamarcus Russell sucked more, that's why you know about him. He's the #1 overall draft bust.